Very quickly interview him.
I'll put you on the other side. Come the other side. Okay, right.
Lawrence, thanks for coming out the crowd to speak to us. Listen, why have you come here?
I've come here because I object to being told where I can and can't move in society. I think it's really unhealthy. I think that what's happened is post-pandemic, the powers that be in the government have got this desire to control our movement, our speech, everything, and I think it's really dangerous that people. There's a grandmother who's picked her kid up from school, and she's got to go 12 miles around the ring road to pick up a grandchild. It's it's more pollution. It's not less.
What the county council would say is this is a traffic calming measure.
Yeah.
That's all they're interested in, is trying to reduce congestion in the centre of this medieval city.
But why would a council get to tell a person, A, city is mostly ridden by bicyclists. I spent 10 years working here. And B, why does the council have a right to tell someone where they can and can't travel? It shouldn't work that way. We should be making a freer world for everybody every single day, where you're freer to move, you're freer to speak, and you're free to choose what you do with your life.
Isn't the way government works that you elect representatives and they make decisions about
but this
the
is
rules?
Popular. This is not a popular. Look at that. Does that look like the council of government?
90% of the people in Oxford oppose it.
They oppose this in the same way as they oppose Sadiq Khan's ULEZ scheme in London. They oppose this stuff, but it's put through anyway by Panjandrins and commissars who think that they're doing the best for the people. They're acting in your best interest. That's not how it should work. The people should be in charge of what they do, and we should not be restricting our movement. We've had 3 years of the most catastrophic government policies, which has destroyed the economy, created an inflation that we cannot control, and we are now reaping the benefits of this, and people are fed up.
Then we're getting ready to walk around our 15-minute
Hold on. We're doing interview.
Do you think there's a bigger agenda here than just restricting traffic in Oxford?
I think that there are two types of people in life. There are people that want to be left alone to get on with their business, transact, love, travel, and be with those that they love. And I think there are people in this world that want to control other people. And I think the people that want to control other people through measures like lockdowns, like 15-minute cities, like ridiculous net zero ideas, that's about control and guilt. And the human nature, it's not conducive to the human nature. Human nature is born to be free and bold.
Well, there are different ideas of freedom, aren't there? You're saying you want the freedom to go where you want in your car, and the other side would say, well, we want the freedom from the pollution and the congestion that unrestricted car use brings.
Yeah.
So they're two competing ideas of freedom, and they both have.
Except one of those sides of the argument is going, you do what you want, mate. Just go, as long as it doesn't harm me, do what you want. But you've seen what Sadiq Khan has done in London with LTNs. Essentially what you've got is just one giant traffic jam spewing out horrible fumes on the poorest in society, while all of the rich people can sit there going, I've done so well for my environment. These policies are ridiculous and ideological, and if we work on ideological policies, we lead to the poorer and the detriment of mankind. That's what I think.
One last question. Do you believe that this is part of a wider agenda for 15-minute cities, not just in the UK but around the world? What do you think that's all about?
They've said it's part of a wider agenda for 15-minute cities around the world. It's not what I believe or not. It's, the desire to control people and lock them down and stop them moving and being free is definitely part of what the future is desired by councillors and by governments.
Some people would say, look, this is about 6 traffic cameras in a relatively small UK city. All these people have come out in protest. I mean, isn't it a bit disproportionate what's happening here?
Well, no, not if you're only allowed to travel 100 times a year and you've got to do a school run and you've got a life to lead. That's power and control. That's who chooses.
You come up from London.
Who chooses? Yeah, I'm free to come up from London.
No, of course.
Who chooses 100 times a year? Who does that? Who gets to choose it? You get to 100 times a year. We do not live in a world. We should be seeking more freedom, not less. I don't want to be restricted by politicians and stuff like that. You should be able to go wherever the hell you want. No, the BBC are the BBC, and that's their job. And
they're the state agents.
Attacking the BBC is not going to help.
They're the regime broadcaster.
I agree with you, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to the BBC and try and be honest.
No, we should talk to them.
And
but it's about how they edit it and how they.
Anyway,
and the optics they create.
But listen, we're going to make I think we've got enough there. We're going to make a formal request for an interview.
Absolutely.
Maybe come and see you at GB News.
Good
if that
to
would
see
be
you.
all right.
See you
Excellent.
later.
Good to meet you, Lawrence. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
What were you saying? I couldn't hear a word.
Bye.